Tonight, while your dog sleeps peacefully beside you, scientists believe it may be seeing a familiar face in its dreams, and that face may very well be yours. It sounds almost impossible to believe. Yet, studies of canine sleep have revealed a truth that has deeply moved millions of dog lovers around the world. When a dog's eyes close, its brain does not simply shut down. Instead, it becomes active in a remarkably fascinating way. Dogs do not just sleep. They remember, they feel, and they relive the moments that matter most in their lives. That raises a fascinating question. When your dog gently paddles its legs during sleep, what is it chasing? A squirrel? A ball? Or perhaps a joyful memory shared with you? To answer that question, we first need to understand something important. Part 1. Your dog is really dreaming. Think back to the last time you watched your dog sleep. Everything seemed peaceful. Then suddenly, a paw twitched. An ear flickered. Its breathing changed. Sometimes there was even a tiny bark or a faint whimper. Most of us simply smile when we see it. We assume those movements are nothing more than random reflexes. But science has revealed a very different story. When researchers monitored dogs' brain activity during sleep, they discovered that dogs experience sleep cycles remarkably similar to those of humans. They do not simply close their eyes and rest. Their brains move through several different stages before entering a special state known as REM sleep. This is the stage in which humans experience their most vivid dreams. What is truly astonishing is that dogs enter this state as well. Their breathing changes, their eyes move behind their closed eyelids, and their bodies begin making the small movements we often notice. Suddenly, those twitching paws no longer seem meaningless. They may be signs that your dog is experiencing an entire world hidden behind its closed eyes. A world of images, sounds, memories, and emotions. In other words, your dog is not simply sleeping beside you. It may be living through a completely different experience. But that leads to an even greater mystery. If dogs are truly running through their dreams, why do they not jump up and race across the room? Part 2. The Gatekeeper of Dreams. Imagine what would happen if every dream were acted out in real life. A dog dreaming about chasing a squirrel might sprint straight into a wall. A dog dreaming about running through an open field might leap off the couch in the middle of the night. Obviously, that would be dangerous. And that is exactly why the brain has developed a remarkable protective mechanism. While your dog is dreaming, a small region of the brain temporarily reduces the activity of most major muscles throughout the body. Put simply, the brain allows the dream to continue, but prevents the body from fully participating in it. Because of this, your dog can run for miles through the world of dreams while remaining safely curled up in its favorite sleeping spot. Scientists have witnessed what happens when this protective system does not function properly. In a famous experiment, sleeping animals began standing up, moving around, and acting out behaviors that existed only within their dreams. For the first time, researchers realized that the world inside sleep was far more vivid and active than anyone had previously imagined. Yet this protective mechanism is not always perfect. That is one reason puppies tend to twitch much more while they sleep. On the other hand, in older dogs, this system gradually becomes less effective with age. You may notice their legs kicking more forcefully, their bodies trembling more noticeably, or louder sounds escaping while they sleep. And perhaps this is the most touching part of all. In those moments, your aging companion may no longer feel the slow and tired legs that come with growing old. In the world of dreams, they can run again, faster, stronger, freer, as if time had never left its mark on their bodies. But that leads us to the most important question in this entire story. If your dog is truly dreaming, what exactly is it seeing behind those closed eyes? Part 3. What your dog really sees in its dreams. If your dog is truly dreaming, what is it actually seeing? This is a question scientists have been trying to answer for many years. After all, we can watch a dog sleep. We can measure its brain activity. But no one can step inside a dog's dream and see what is happening from the inside. Then a fascinating discovery changed everything. In 2001, researchers at MIT monitored the brain activity of animals as they moved through a maze. Each time an animal passed a specific location, a unique group of neurons became active. It was as if the brain was recording every moment of that experience. But something remarkable happened after the animals fell asleep. Scientists discovered that those same neural patterns appeared again, in the same sequence, along the same path, recreating the very experiences the animals had gone through earlier. In other words, the brain was replaying its own memories, like a movie being shown again in the darkness. This discovery led to a fascinating conclusion. Dogs' dreams are probably not random collections of meaningless images. They are experiences that once existed, emotions that were once felt, moments that were once lived. If your dog spent the day running freely in the park, there is a good chance it may relive that feeling of freedom during the night. If it spent time playing with its favorite ball, its brain may replay that exact moment. If it was loved, petted, and surrounded by people it trusts, those memories may continue to live once again during sleep. But the opposite may also be true. If a dog experiences anxiety, a loud thunderstorm, or a frightening event, the brain may bring those emotions back during the night as well. That is why many scientists believe dreams are not simply entertainment. Dreams are one of the ways the brain processes life, organizes memories, strengthens emotions, and learns from what happened throughout the day. This leads to a profound realization. Every day you spend with your dog, you are helping create the memories it may carry with it into sleep. Every walk, every game, every joyful moment you share together. All of these experiences may become part of the secret world your dog enters each night. But that leads to an even more touching question. If dreams are built from the things that matter most in life, what appears most often in those dreams? Part 4. The most important thing in your dog's world. Scientists believe that dreams often reflect the things that matter most to the dreamer, and dogs appear to be no exception. A hunting dog may dream about pursuing a target. A herding dog may dream about guiding the movement of an entire herd. Instinct always leaves its mark, even during sleep. But here is where things become truly fascinating. Dreams are not built only from what dogs do. They are also built from what they feel, because the brain does not simply store actions. It stores the emotions connected to those actions. Think about one of the most meaningful days of your own life. You probably do not remember every detail. What you remember most is how that day felt. The joy, the peace, the sense of safety, or a moment that deeply touched your heart. A dog's brain works in a very similar way. The moments that make them happy, the moments that make them feel loved, the moments that make them feel safe. These are often the memories that leave the strongest imprint. It may be a morning walk with you, an afternoon spent playing in the park, or simply lying beside you at the end of a long day. The things that seem ordinary to us may be extraordinary to them, and this is something many dog owners never fully realize. The brain does not preserve what happens most often. It preserves what matters most. That is why a few minutes of genuine happiness can leave a deeper mark than hours of ordinary experiences. When we watch our dogs sleeping, we tend to think they are simply resting, but their brains may actually be returning to the places they love most, the feelings they treasure most, the memories that make them feel safest. And that brings us to a deeply emotional truth. If dreams are built from the most important things in a dog's life, then there is likely one figure who appears in those dreams more than anyone else, one figure they wait for every day, look for every evening, and follow almost every moment they are awake. When scientists began exploring that question, they arrived at a conclusion that touched the hearts of millions of dog lovers around the world. And that answer leads us to the final secret of this video, Part 5. What surprised scientists the most? And now we arrive at the most astonishing part of all. Perhaps the most fascinating discovery is not that dogs can dream. It is what they seem to dream about. Think about your dog's life on a typical day. In the morning, it looks for you. When you walk into another room, it watches you go. When you leave the house, it waits. And when you return, that is often the happiest moment of its entire day. Throughout its life, your dog spends more time observing you than anyone else. It learns your voice. It learns your scent. It learns your routines. and little by little, you become the center of its world. That is why many scientists believe one conclusion is almost impossible to avoid. If humans tend to dream about the things that matter most to them, then dogs are also likely to dream about the things that matter most to them. And in many cases, that is you. Not a favorite toy, not a familiar couch, not even the park where they love to run. You, the person they trust most, the person they search for when they feel uncertain, the person they spend their entire lives loving. Think about that for a moment. Tonight, while your dog is sleeping peacefully, while its paws gently move, while its breathing changes, there is a good chance that its brain is replaying some of the most meaningful moments of its life. And very possibly, you are somewhere within those memories. Perhaps it is remembering the day you first brought it home. Perhaps it is reliving a walk you shared together. Perhaps it is remembering the moment you comforted it when it was afraid. Or even a day that you yourself have long forgotten. But your dog is not. This may be one of the most touching things science has ever revealed about the relationship between humans and dogs. You do not disappear from your dog's world when it closes its eyes. Quite the opposite. You travel with it into the most private corners of its mind, into the memories that make it feel safest, into the emotions that make it feel happiest. And perhaps that is why the bond between humans and dogs has always felt so extraordinary, because their love does not end when the day is over. It continues, even in their dreams. Part 6. The final gift we can give our dogs. After everything science has discovered, perhaps the most important lesson is not knowing exactly what your dog dreams about. The more important lesson is understanding that every day spent with you leaves a lasting mark on its mind. If dreams are truly built from memories, then every walk, every game, every gentle touch, every peaceful moment together may become part of the world your dog carries with it into the night. There is a beautiful saying, we are only a part of our dog's life, but to them, we are their whole life. And perhaps that is more true than we realize, because the brain does not preserve what is most expensive. It preserves what is most meaningful. We cannot choose what our dogs will dream about tonight, but we can choose the memories they take with them into sleep. One more walk, one more game of fetch, one more hug, one more moment spent together. These things may seem small to us, but they can become cherished memories that last for a lifetime. And perhaps that is the greatest gift we can ever give them. Not the most expensive toy, not the most beautiful bed, but days filled with love, memories worth keeping, and moments worth dreaming about again. Tonight, when you look at your dog sleeping peacefully beside you, you may no longer see it as just an ordinary night's sleep. Behind those closed eyes may exist an entire world of memories, emotions, and the things your dog treasures most. And very possibly, you are somewhere in that world. If your dog could carry only one memory of you into its dreams tonight, which moment would you want it to remember? Share your story in the comments below. I would truly love to read it. If you enjoy content that helps us better understand the minds and emotions of dogs, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our future videos. And before you go, there is an even more fascinating discovery waiting for us. Most people believe that dogs simply see us as humans, but science suggests something very different. In our next video, we will explore why your dog may not actually see you as an ordinary human at all, and what it truly sees may completely change the way you think about your relationship with your four-legged companion. So be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We will continue taking you on a journey into the hidden mysteries behind canine behavior, dog psychology, and the emotional world of your loyal companion, helping you understand your dog on a much deeper level. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.